All right. Hey, friends. Welcome to Monday Night Team Call. For those who don't know me, if you're newer, my name is Natalie Schauer. I'm a Senior Ruby Ambassador with Plexus, and I've been with the company I've been sharing for a little under 2 years. And so I've been through a lot of momentum and I've been through a lot of nothing. So I feel like just from that right there, I've kind of gotten a lot of insight on kind of how to really build momentum from nothing, because I feel like that's something that we've all had to do at some point or another, right? So I want to talk to you guys a little bit about ranking up and why ranking up is so important. So we were at Ruby Retreat last week already, 2 weeks ago? That's long time ago. When we were at Ruby Retreat, I had a few people that were coming up and asking me, when are you going for Emeralds? When are you going for Emeralds? What month were you going to be shooting for Emeralds? Y'all, it never changed. I was always shooting for Emeralds. And I think that was an interesting question for me, because I've never not shot for that next rank. It's never been in my blood to not shoot for that next rank, no matter what it is. You can ask Emily. She has never, I don't think ever, seen me shoot for like a point growth goal. That's just never been in me. I'm always going for whatever that next rank up is in that next month. So it's important that I think that we shoot really big and we make sure that we make really big goals for ourselves. So I kind of had to laugh, because I realized I was trying to think today about why I'm like this. Like, why am I one of those people that just goes for really, really, really big goals? And even if I don't hit them, I always go for them. I don't what is in me. And I realized I used to work for Apple. And I don't know if you guys kind of hear like this stigma on working for Apple. They say you drink the Kool-Aid, right? It's a thing, like you really just learn how to really go after big things. And so when you have to work for Steve Jobs, you have to learn how to go for big things. That's just what they do to you. They make you push those things, which isn't a bad thing, right? And so I just wanted to share a couple things about Steve Jobs that I know this maybe sounds weird, but I think it's really important. And I think it helps us to really aim bigger. So I know we've all heard the quote, shoot for the moon, you'll land among the stars. And it's so cliche, but it's so true, you guys. If you're just shooting for the treetops, you might make it halfway up that tree. If you are shooting for the moon, even if you don't make the moon, you're somewhere in the sky. It's just the bigger that we shoot, the closer we're going to get to our goals. So one thing about Steve is he actually was big on the impossible. He really, really, really valued, I'm going to switch this a little bit so I can see. He really, really valued the impossible and doing the impossible. So there was somebody named Ken Rosen who worked with Steve, and they were getting ready to do a keynote presentation together. And he said that Steve had gone up to him and said, there's 5 things I want to do in this keynote presentation, 5 specific things. And they were like, that's not possible. As he said, I don't even remember what they were, but it was like, it's not possible. It's only in a few days. There's no way we can set up all 5 of those things for that presentation. We just can't do it. It's impossible. And he said, I want those 5 things done. So they worked really hard, and they stayed up late, and they really pushed for it. And he said that really quickly, they actually were able to achieve 4 out of those 5 things for that keynote presentation. And so they went to Steve Jobs, and they were so excited, and they were like, oh my gosh, we got 4 out of 5 of those things for you. We're super excited. We thought it was impossible, but we did it. Thank you for pushing us. And he was like, I want that 5th thing though. Are we doing that 5th thing? I want that 5th thing. And so they went back and worked endlessly and ended up achieving that 5th thing for the keynote presentation. So because he made them push for something they thought was impossible, they actually achieved it. Another guy, his name was Larry Kenyon. He worked for Steve Jobs, and he said that way back in the day, Steve Jobs was not happy about how long it took a Mac to boot up. He was not thrilled with it and said, I want it 10 seconds faster. I want these to boot up 10 seconds faster. And Larry was just like, I mean, we've done everything. We've made these as fast as they can go. If we could make it faster, we would. He said, I want it 10 seconds faster because here's why. We have 5 million users, and those 10 seconds add up to 300 million hours per year, or 100 lives lost waiting for a Mac to boot up. And he said, so if you can just save 1 life, can we make it 10 seconds faster? And so they worked and worked and worked. And 4 weeks later, they came back because he pushed them and said, this has to be done. He pushed them. They came back and they made it 28 seconds faster 4 weeks later. okay? Because they shot for a big goal that they thought was impossible, but they achieved it. So this is where I think that it's really, 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 really important for you to put something big into your brain so that you push for it. It causes a bigger push in you. A bigger goal makes a bigger push. And so I just want to talk to you guys a little bit about ranking up and why you should be shooting to rank up every single month, okay? So why do I need to rank up? Okay, the first one, it's going to make you very uncomfortable. The reds are going to love me, and you yellows, you're going to just, you're going to get the heebie-jeebies about this, okay? You need the income. You need the income. Here's the thing. Multiple streams of income anymore is not just beneficial. It is completely necessary. How many people last year thought that they were sitting in a really good job that they were going to have forever and ever and ever for the rest of their days and ended up losing their job or ended up losing a big, huge part of their job? Okay. I have a friend who is in executive sales for Disney. Okay. Disney's not going anywhere. Disney's making a lot of money. They just announced Disney Plus. Guess what? Last year, he had something shift in his job. He was one of their top performers. He had something shift in his job and he lost 50% of his pay. He's now scrambling to try and find another source of income. You need the income. This is why you need to rank up, because the bigger the rank, the bigger the income, right? So you need the income. Here's where the yellows are going to start to love me a little bit more. Okay, your family is counting on you to rank up. You are missing putting your kids to bed. You're missing doing some dinners. Your house is slacking in some areas. There's all these different things that you're sacrificing to make this work for you. And if you go back to your family and say, guess what? I didn't make a huge income, but I really believe in myself a little bit more this month. That doesn't pay the bills. They're not going to see the benefit of the sacrifice. They need to see you ranking up so that they see that the work ethic that you're putting in is worth it. They need to see that the things that you're sacrificing and they are sacrificing are worth it, okay? Your team needs to see you rank up, okay? That's what builds belief. Your team has to see you ranking. If you are not ranking, what are they following, right? You can't lead somewhere that you haven't been. You can't tell somebody, yeah, we're going straight to diamond, and then you're just sitting complacent. You might be okay as a senior gold and just sitting as a senior gold, not thinking of anybody in particular by any means, but you might be fine sitting at senior gold, okay? But that mama that you just got last week who hasn't been able to buy groceries for her kids, and you just told her that this was an amazing business where she was going to have, residual income someday, you can't take her where you haven't been. Senior gold's not going to be good enough for her. Okay, your team has to see you ranking up, and the people that you're putting on your team to help and to really bring value to, they have to see you ranking up, and you have to be paving the way for them. You have to rank up for your team, your family, and for yourself. You just have to, okay? So here's the thing, your roadmap every single month, your roadmap should absolutely have the next rank up on it. Absolutely, 100%. I don't care how big that rank up is. I know a lot of people that are just like, oh, I'm going for like 100 points this month. And then they kind of do their roadmap to get there. You know what I'm doing? I'm going, okay, I'm a senior ruby. I want to make emerald. Here's the points I need to make emerald. What can I do to roadmap that? And I work backwards. What can I do to make emerald? What do I have to develop to make emerald? What do I have to do? And I put that into place. And then even if the numbers don't make sense in my head, I just put it on paper how I'm going to make it happen. And now I can go and start developing accordingly. Okay. You need to be counting on you and your push and your goals to help you advance and to help you rank. If you've got small goals, you're not going to push big enough for them. Okay. You're just not. That's just not how the brain works. If you've got really big goals, you're going to push really, really hard. So go to what that next rank up is and work backwards and figure out what that looks like. Now, here's the thing. If you were at a senior ruby and you come back to gold, I don't know, and saying to shoot for emerald is pretty big, right? You've got a lot of work to do. Just shoot for senior gold. Like whatever that next rank up is that you need to re-rank and get back to, whatever, I don't care what it is, what your month ended at, that next month you should be shooting for whatever that re-rank or that next rank up is. Always be ranking and re-ranking. You need to be. It's for real. You have to. Let's see. So let's talk about the how a little bit. So how are we going to rank up every month? You have to recruit. You have to retain, right? Those are the two big things you have to do. You also have to lead, but we'll get there in a second. You have to recruit and you have to retain in order to rank up. You cannot rank up without either one of these, okay? So if you're struggling in either of these things, you need to start looking at videos and watching on how you're going to recruit better or how you're going to retain better, because these matter. First of all, you need to get on the phone, okay? Have to get on the phone. I know we've said this about enrollments, we've said this about your team, but you have to get on the phone. There is something that about them hearing your heart and hearing your voice, that really helps to stir your team, and it really helps to stir people that you're talking to, okay? They need to hear that what you're saying is serious, and that what you're saying isn't just about like a quick catch on the internet. Like, I want to help you. I'm taking time out for you, and I'm talking to you, whether it's growing a business or helping you get consistent on your products, whatever it is, you have to get on the phone. You just have to. So if you're talking to prospects, get on the phone with them. Get on the phone with them and your sponsor, whatever you need to do. Also, when you have a brand new prospect or brand new ambassadors on your team, okay? When you have brand new ambassadors, you need to be jumping on the phone with them and get them onto a phone call with your sponsor. So what we've been doing with some people on my team is, if they are joining and they're like, I don't want to sell, I don't want to do anything, I just want to take products. That's great. I still want to get you on the phone with my sponsor, because I want to make sure that we have 3 of us that are working together closely, because you just put money into this. You just made an investment into your health, and I want to make sure that you're getting the best investment from this, okay? I want to make sure that you're getting your ultimate success from your products. So I want to make sure that we have 3 of us on, sorry, I have a baby in here. I want to make sure this is work from home mom, right? Head back to bed, baby. I want to make sure that you're getting the best success on your product. So let's get you on the phone with my sponsors. We have 3 of us, and we've got some really good customer service going here. And then make sure that you're talking. And then as the sponsor, you can get on and say, okay, awesome. I'm going to use Kristen because her and I work together a lot. Okay, awesome. I'm so excited that you joined Kristen's team. You're in amazing hands. I'm sure she went through all this with you, but I just want to make sure, like, did she cover Plexus perks? This is, because this is a huge thing. Go over perks. Also, did she go over what just getting 3 friends would do for you this month? Okay, what do you do? And here's 2 things that Brittany taught Christina, and Christina told all of us. 2 big questions that you can ask, actually 3, when you get on the phone with new people is, where do you live? What do you do for a living? What do you love, or what do you love most about it? And what is your biggest challenge there? Those are going to open up huge conversations with those people, okay? Where do you live? Oh, I'm from Arkansas. Awesome. What do you do? Well, I'm a cashier at Walmart. Awesome. What's your favorite part about that? My gosh, I just really love people. I love, seeing the same people every day, and I love the smiles that I see every day. Awesome. What's your biggest challenge? Well, I'd rather be home with my kids. You know what? This would be an amazing opportunity for you, because this opportunity is about relationship building and working with the same people every day. It's about being a leader and making sure that you're putting smiles on people's faces every single day. And it's going to get you home with your babies. Let me tell you a little bit about it, and then go into that opportunity. Those questions will open up some huge conversations for you. So make sure you're doing welcome calls. Make sure you're doing prospect calls. The last thing is getting on the phone with your team. Okay. Make sure you're talking on the phone with your team often. And if they don't have a big enough why that makes them push and doesn't make them cry, and I don't mean that to be mean, but I mean, your why really should bring you to emotion. Okay. It's why we do what we do. And if I'm willing to give up time with my kids and putting them down for bedtimes because I got to lead a team call tonight, I better make sure that my why is important and that my why is big enough. Okay. So here's a key to finding out your team's why. Okay. I'm going to use an example that we had last week. And she'll probably recognize this if she's on the call, which she is. So anyways, I won't use names, but so we were talking to someone last week, and it was, okay, why do you want to do this? Well, I really could use a little bit of extra money. Okay, great. What would that extra income do for you? Well, I have a job that I work super early in the mornings from the internet, and I don't want to have to do that anymore. I have to be up at 3:30 in the morning to do that, and I don't want to do that anymore. Okay, great. What would that do for you if you didn't have to be up so early? Well, I could get a lot more sleep. Okay, so if you could get more sleep, what would that do for you? What would that do for your family if you could get some more sleep? Well, it would make it so that I wasn't so groggy every day. Okay, so what would that do for your family if you weren't groggy every day? Well, it would make it so that I can actually be there for my kids, and I can actually like be at some of their events and be at some of their events. And do you see how we're just taking it deeper and deeper and deeper until finally by the end of it, she realizes it's not about that she just wants the extra income so that she doesn't have to get up early in the mornings anymore. It's about the fact that she wants to be able to be present with her children. She wants to be able to go to their games that are late at night, and she doesn't have to worry about getting up super early in the morning. She wants to actually be present as a mom. Okay, that's a huge difference from I just want a couple hours to sleep. A couple hours of sleep is not going to make somebody get up and move every day, but them being a present mom is going to help them be there every single day and show up every single day, right? So make sure when you're talking about why that you're really digging and you're really listening and you're asking more questions. If you don't know what to ask, literally just say, tell me more about that. Tell me more about that. And they get them to tell you more about it. Okay. You don't have to know all the answers. You don't have to be the ultimate, analyzer of everyone's business and talk to them. You just don't. Tell me more about that. What would that do for your family? What would that do for your kids? What would that do for you? What would that do for your stress level? What would that do for your peace level? Ask those types of questions and yes, Shelly, do a lot of listening. It should be about 70% them talking and about 30% you talking, if not less, honestly. So a lot of listening and a lot of just trying to help them figure out what their why is and why they're in this and what they want to do to rank up. Then the next thing, we are celebrating everything. Okay. So if they decide that they really want to run with it, great. We're going to celebrate it. When they go and they put up a post about it, awesome. We're going to celebrate that like they just ranked up to Ruby. Okay. We're going to make a big deal of that. When they decide that when they're just a product user and they come to you and they say, oh my gosh, I slept so good last night. That's huge. That's exciting. You guys celebrate that. That's amazing. And then the more that you celebrate those wins and you say, have you posted about that? Have you told anybody about that? Have you shared that with anybody? Guess what? Chances are I haven't. Oh my gosh, you should absolutely post that because I bet you have a lot of friends and family that are looking for better sleep too. Let them know what you've been doing and maybe you could help them. That opens up that conversation. So you want to make sure that you're really celebrating that. And yes, Jeannie, it's a huge part of our culture. We celebrate, we have fun, we celebrate wins together. Okay. So celebrate everything. Customer service. You cannot celebrate wins without great customer service. Okay. So retention is part of customer service. If you're not reaching out with your people and checking in on them, you cannot figure out what their wins are. One thing that I had to do because I am just not organized, if I'm not pen and paper, I went to Amazon and I got myself a planner. Okay. I think this was $9 on Amazon and it's got every day. So when I have a new join, I'm going to write it down on this date. I'm going to count 3 days later and say, check in with Susie. And then 10 days later, check in with Susie. And then 2 weeks later, check in with Susie. And I'm going to write all that in there to make sure that, and then every day when I go in, I can see exactly who I need to be checking in on that day for what day they're on. Whatever you need to do to get more organized, to have better customer service, you need to do it because customer service is the ultimate key for retention. You have to have great customer service and you have to be celebrating every single win with them. The next thing is you have to have consistent IPA. Okay, you have to. I know it's like the part that a lot of us are like, oh, IPA, but IPA is the gold, y'all. It really is. That is going outside and digging for that gold in the backyard that we always talk about. Okay, if I've got 3 pieces of gold back there and I dug them in your backyard and I said they're out there, you just got to go find them. You got to dig for them. You're going to keep digging until you find them, aren't you? Okay, same with IPA. We're trying to find those people that we want to link arms with and run with. And it's okay to be a little bit picky about that. You gotta go to Mexico with these people every year. So pick people that you're driven to work with and people that you're excited about. People, like, it's okay to be a little bit picky and to have a specific person that you're looking for and to call that out in somebody when you find them. Okay. When you find them, say, you know what, I have a few people in mind that I would love to do this with. And I have a very specific, pretty specific list of like what I'm looking for in like a dream team member. And honestly, you kind of meet it. Like, you're everything on my dream team list. I would love to do this with you and here's why. And then tell them all the reasons that you see that they would be an amazing dream team member and why you want to do this with you or why you want them to do this with you. Okay. It's okay to go and be very, very, very bold with your reach outs. Okay. You have to be reaching out about the business as well as reaching out about the products. You have to be doing both. Here's the thing is IPA kind of takes us out of our comfort zone a little bit, right? If we're being honest, it kind of takes us out of our comfort zone, whether it's doing reach outs about the business, whether it's going for a dream teamer, it doesn't matter. But here's the thing, you don't get to have a high dollar paycheck with a low grade work ethic and with a low risk comfort zone. That's just not how this works. Okay. You don't get to have that high dollar paycheck with a low grade work ethic and a low risk comfort zone. period. That's just not how this works. So make sure that you are doing things daily that get you out of your comfort zone and are pushing you to do better and to absolutely put you into a bold position to where you are positioning yourself for an amazing team that's driven and has a huge why and wants to rank up along with you. Okay. I will ask the diamonds on this page. You can just shake your head or whatever. Did y'all go diamond just by doing 3, 2, 1 every single day? My guess is no, right? So doing the 3, 2, 1, it's great. It's the bare minimum, but that's not going to get you that big paycheck. It's just not. Okay. You need to be doing a lot more. You need to be doing over and above. Keep in mind, your team is going to do 50% of what you do. That's the truth there. They're going to do about 50% of what you do. So if you're doing 3, 2, 1, what's 50% of that? That's what your team's doing. Okay. You need to be doing like 10, 9, 8, or, you know, whatever. Like, you need to be doing big things because your team needs to see you doing big things, because like I said, they're going to do about 50% of that. So if you want to call them higher, you need to be doing higher quality work and more work. Like I said, it's that high quality work ethic that's going to get you that high paying paycheck. Your team needs to see you going all in. If you're on the IPA chat every day, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, that's fine. That's fine. But you know what? Your team, if they see you going all in every single day, and they see you posting every single day, and they see you reaching out to new people every single day, they see you getting new joins consistently, they're going to know that you're someone that they want to follow. They're going to know that you're a leader that they want to get behind, because you're going places and they don't want to be left behind. So make sure that you're leading by example and leading from the front, and make sure that you're on the forefront of that IPA every single day. The other thing is, oops, get someone muted here. The other thing is to make sure that you're getting your team plugged into the community. Okay, that is huge. If you are not plugging your team into the community, you are missing a huge piece of the customer service element and the retention element there. Onboarding is a must, okay? When you onboard somebody, you need to have a checklist in your head of exactly what you need to do in the next 5 seconds if you want to onboard them correctly, okay? I get a new join, the second they hit enroll, great, I'm putting you into a page that's going to offer you a lot of support and resources. I also want to connect you with Emily. She's a huge, like, dear friend of mine, and she's going to be a huge help for both of us. She's got a lot of, you know, knowledge in some different ways that I may not, and vice versa. So it's just a really good level of customer service, and we just want to support you in the best way possible. So I want to connect you with her as well. I'm getting her into a 3-way chat with Emily. I'm adding them to the BU page. I'm adding them to Pink Power, and I'm tagging them in the guides saying, start here. Start here in these guides, go through the guides. I don't care if they're a product user or a business builder, because guess what? There's stuff for both of those people in there. And I want to make sure that they're getting their best results on the investment that they just put in. So if they are going through detox and I didn't do my due diligence of tagging them in those guides, it's going to explain them what detox looks like. I've just kind of failed them in a way, right? I didn't set them up for success. I need to make sure that I'm tagging them in those right away and letting them know that they have been tagged in them, and then keep checking in on that. The great thing about that is those are all resources that you can use that's going to save you from a lot of texting and a lot of talking. And it's seriously. So when you can go back and say, oh my gosh, that was actually in the guides that I tagged you in. Did you see that? We talked about detox a little bit. No, I didn't. Okay, great. I'm going to tag you in that one more time. Tag them in that. Okay, it's simple, it's easy, and it's duplicatable is the thing. So when they do decide to share someday, they're going to be seeing how easy this system is, and it's going to be duplicatable. It's something that they can do very easily, and it's going to do a lot of your work for you. It's been done. Just make sure you're plugging them into that community. The other thing is make sure that you are plugged into the community, and in full transparency, this is something that I'm getting better at too. You know, you get caught up in your stuff and you forget to welcome people in the team page or whatever. So my girl Kristen, you guys have seen her. She's been a huge momentum, and I asked her if I could talk about this today. So don't think I'm just ratting around on something, but she was a huge she was tough when it came to the team page in the beginning. Okay, she was one of those, like, I do not want to put people in the team page. I don't want to overwhelm them. I don't want to make them feel like I'm trying to get them to do something that I don't want. I don't want to do that. I just don't like. I don't like it. I had such a hard time getting her to put people in the team page. And so we finally got there with it, right? After all the working with her, we got her there, and she's putting people in the team page. But you know what? She's one of the main people every day that's in there commenting and welcoming people. And guess what? Her team is doing the same thing. Even her, just her product users are getting in there every day and welcoming people in the team page, and they're welcoming new people, and they're congratulating people when things happen to them. They're liking pictures of people ranking up. Y'all, these are people that don't want to do the business, but they're pretty involved in our community. So guess what? When it comes time for them to share, they're going to remember all of these things that they're seeing in the team page, and they're going to want to step up to the plate and do big things like our team is doing big things. They want to be part of the culture that we're doing. So make sure that you are consistently commenting in the team page, welcoming people, congratulating people, all of that. Make sure that you are active, because your team is going to see it and they're going to be active along with it too. If they just think this is what we do and that's just what we do. And when we join Plexus, we welcome people to our team page. They're going to be part of it, and they're going to stick a lot longer if they're part of the community. So make sure that you're active in the team page as well. As far as leading, like I said, you have to lead. If you're going to take people to big places, you have to make sure that you're leading them well. So you can only rank up, right, if you're showing people how you got to where you're going. So I hear this a lot where people are like, well, I don't know, how am I supposed to tell them I know how to get them to Ruby if I've never been to Ruby? Well, have you been to Senior Silver? You can tell them how to get to Senior Silver, can't you? And then once you've gotten to gold, I mean, you can tell them how to get to gold, right? So if you just keep bringing your team up with you and showing them how you've done what you've done so far, you're naturally going to rank up with that. They're going to be ranking up with you, and you're going to be gaining all of this knowledge along the way about what you need to be doing and how to do it. And next thing you know, you're Senior Ruby, you're going for a jewel rank, you're going for Sapphire, all these things, and you now know how to do it because you've been there, because you've been calling people higher and bringing them to a place that you've been. So make sure, just because you don't know how to go diamond, that doesn't matter. You know how to go whatever rank you are right now, you know how to go there. Take your team there, okay? Show them how to do it, because then you'll naturally rank up with it, and then you can take them up even higher. So make sure that you are leading in that way. Also, create videos, y'all. This is a huge thing at Ruby Retreat, and I'm sure you've seen a lot of people posting on our team pages now, like, okay, I'm doing it, I'm making a video. It's because they told us to do it, because that's what leaders do. They create videos. Here's the thing, if there's a video that you love that Jamie has done in the past, guess what? You can redo that entire video, take notes on it, dress up, make a YouTube account, and just go through and make a video yourself. Even if it's for new product users, about here's how to take your products. This is it. Here's how to take your products. You're going to do swim in the mornings, make sure it's 30 minutes before a meal, and just talk about that. And then you can send them that video when they get their products. That shows leadership. Okay. It's funny, if you pay attention, there's a lot of people when they first join our team. If it's somebody that doesn't have a lot of leadership equity, they could tell them something all day. The second Jamie gets on and tells them to do it, they're like, oh, Jamie's serious. Jamie's a big leader. I better listen to what she's saying. It's because she has leadership equity. Okay. The way you create leadership equity is to be a leader. And to be a leader, you've got to make yourself visible. So get visible in front of people. And even if that, like I said, make videos and send them to your team. That's something very simple that every single person can do. Along with that, like I said earlier, cameras on for team calls. Make sure you have your cameras on and you are engaged in team calls, okay? Your team wants to see that you are on team calls and that you are engaged in team calls as well, okay? You can give me all the excuses on why you can't make team calls. I can combat every single one of them, I guarantee it, okay? Because I've been through them too. There's no excuse for missing team calls. You can be on team calls, period, and make yourself visible, make yourself aware of what's going on, be taking notes, because there's something you can learn on every single team call. Eliminate all of your excuses, y'all, and just be coachable. Here's the thing is, we can give excuses all day as to why we're not doing some of the things that we're doing, okay? So some of the excuses we hear on the regular are like, well, the market is too saturated. Okay, talk to Sue and Sally about that. They're twins who joined a team that was already in a small town with a diamond of, like, Jamie, Sue, and Sally are all in the same town pretty much, and they've done it. They've all gone diamond. So if two twins can go diamond with the same exact family, I think you can get in a market when you got one other person in the state, okay? I think you can do it. If you're saying you don't have the money to really do this, you can talk to Fallon, who literally drove herself to a convention and ate hot dogs in her room by herself so that she made convention a priority, because she knew that leaders are created at events. So she made it a priority to get there, and she ate hot dogs in her room so that she could make sure that she was learning from the best of the best and take it back to her team. You're not good at sales, or you're shy, you don't really have a big market, talk to Jamie about that. Jamie didn't have a huge market. Jamie was super shy. She'll tell you all day, this grew her in ways that nothing else could have, because she grew through that. Being shy and not being good at sales is not an excuse not to do this. Like I said, there's resources and there's things available for you to make you successful. so that you can learn as you go and earn as you grow. Okay. So you can be learning and earning as you're growing and going through this whole thing. Okay. You don't have to make sure that you're perfectionist or know all the things before you get started. I've got too much going on. My girl Cody pushed out a baby and was sitting in the hospital that night with team calls on, rocking her baby. Okay. She had stuff going on that day. She still showed up for team calls. You could talk to Brittany Howard, who really has, she's got someone getting married. She's got one of her kids getting married. She just had a baby. She's moving into a huge house. She's got all these things going on. And guess what? She can make all the excuses in the world and she's getting it done. I've got a full-time job and I'm just so busy. Talk to Emily. Emily is working with horses 6 or 7 days a week and doesn't get a day off. That girl's in the Texas heat, dirty as all get out every single day, and she's jumping on to voice clips and team calls and everything in the middle of that. Y'all, when we were in Momentum, I had hand surgery, so I couldn't text and I couldn't do anything. I literally had my hand in a splint like this. I had hand surgery, so I was voice clipping everything while we were in Momentum. I'm voice clipping so that I could still help my team grow. Y'all, guess what? I got nodes. I went to the doctor and found out I had vocal nodules, and I was told to be on vocal rest. Well, not today, Satan. I got a business to grow. All right. I'm not going to sit here and sit back and let something, like, I was finding a way to text or voice clip or get it done. Whatever I had to do to get it done, I was getting it done. Okay. You can give me excuses. I'm telling you, I can bat every single one of them. So don't even give me your excuses. And be coachable. Here's the thing: when your sponsor says, here's something I need you to work on, even if in your mind you nailed it and you don't need to work on that at all, I guarantee that if you literally just said, okay, even if you disagree, just, okay, I'm going to work on that. Go find a video to teach you about how to get better at that. And I guarantee that there's a way that you can grow and you can get better in that. Just like with Steve Jobs and that whole thing, there's always something that you can be doing better. So even if you think you've nailed attraction marketing, there's a way you can do it better. Even if you think you have nailed recruitment, there's a way you can do it better. You can always be growing and always be gaining knowledge and skills, honing in on those skills so that you can be better at what you're doing. There's always something you can be doing better. And if your sponsor says there's something you need to work on, guarantee it's something that probably a few people see that you need to work on. Okay. They're not just going to tell you stuff just to blow smoke up your skirt. Like, it actually is something that you need to dig into and start really working on and start getting better. If there's something that you know that you need to improve on, you're like, man, I cannot seem to close a sale. Get on the team pages, search closing a sale, and watch videos on how to close a sale. There's a million videos on it. If you have no idea how to recruit, get on and look up recruiting. You can be growing in every single one of these. And if you just completely hit a wall, seriously, ask your sponsor. I have no idea how to recruit, and I feel like I've watched all the videos and it's just not sinking in. Help me. Where are my blind spots? And I guarantee they have some ideas for you. Okay. They've just been waiting for you to ask. So try, when your sponsor gives you some feedback, just saying, okay, and going and fixing whatever those things are. Don't defend it. Don't justify it. We don't need it. If you hear something, you're like, oh, that's not for me, it's probably for you. Okay. You could probably take it and apply it and use it. So if you've been listening to this call tonight, like, oh, I need to like give this to so-and-so so they can hear it, it's probably for you. Okay. So make sure that you are actually applying everything that you're taking in so that you can grow, because here's the thing: personal growth is absolutely a necessity. Okay. I will say this: we were handed these sheets at Ruby Retreat. Okay. It was basically Brittany Howard's coaching sheet and what she goes through when she's coaching somebody. I can guarantee you what all the leaders did when they got this sheet. Okay. I didn't grab this and I didn't say, oh my gosh, I cannot wait to ask so-and-so that question. You know what I started doing? I started going, okay, Natalie, what are you excited about in your business right now? Okay, Natalie, what are you proud of in your business right now? And I went back and I started writing this down. Okay. I started asking myself these questions because I knew that I could grow in this just as much as I know 10 people that can grow in this too. So grab it. If you have this sheet, grab it and start asking yourself these questions. And if you don't have the sheet, contact your sponsor so you can get a copy of it somehow, because I'm telling you, this is huge. But you need to be asking yourself these questions just as much as you need to be asking your team these questions. You need to be self-reflecting on this. You need to be revisiting your why at the beginning of every single month. Before I go in and I start drawing a why from my team, I want to make sure that my why is solid and that my why is rooted into something strong, so that I'm leading with passion and I'm leading from the front and not asking my team to do something that I'm not willing to do myself. I need to revisit my why if I want my team to revisit their why every single month. So like I said, Kristen, she was stuck. I was going to have her tag team on this call with me tonight, but I'm a blue and a red and I like to talk and I have a lot of things to say. And so I decided to just run with it. And I just used her examples and I asked her if I could use her. But when she was stuck, she would tell me all the time, oh my gosh, my business is dying. My business is dying. But she was plugging into personal growth every single day. She was listening to Fallon. She was listening to Jamie. She was listening to Abby Kappa. She was listening to Brittany. She was listening to Christina. We were diving into those every single day and sharing podcasts with each other, sharing podcasts with our team, sharing videos with our team, and just really gaining that excitement again. Kristen has built her business. I don't know if you saw the picture I posted a week ago, something like that. Her team has grown. Her business has grown 400%. And a lot of that was literally building momentum from nothing because she decided to dive into personal growth and to tackle the areas that she knew she was weak in and really start gaining strength in those areas, but then also sharpening her strengths that she already had. Okay. So make sure that even though you might be strong in something, you can still be sharpening those strengths. Okay. And ask people around you where, like your sponsor, ask your sponsor and any other uplines that you might be in a chat with, ask them, like, what do you think I'm strong in that I could be sharpening? What do you think are some challenges that I need to be leaning into to actually grow in those areas? Okay. Because again, like I said, high dollar paycheck does not come with a low grade work ethic, and it does not come with low risk comfort zones. Okay. You have to step out of these comfort zones. So ranking up, y'all, you can rank up this month. If you don't have a rank up on your roadmap for this month or a re-rank on your roadmap for this month, not good enough. Okay, find out what that next rank or the re-rank is, and if you have to get with your sponsor, whatever you need to do to map that out, start working backwards. Okay, look at what that next rank is and work backwards. Okay, so I will tell you that the times that I've gone for Emerald didn't make sense, but guess what? I got very close and a lot closer than I would have gotten had I just given myself a 100 or 200 point growth goal. Okay, so anyways, that's all I have for tonight, you guys. I hope I didn't smack you too hard a little bit. I know there's a lot of little truth bombs in there, but I want to be the person that's going to give you the hard truths, because sometimes we need to hear that if we're going to grow our businesses. Okay, so make sure that you guys are road mapping correctly. Make sure you're calling your team higher, you're digging into personal growth, you're doing that IPA. And really shoot for that rank up, because there's no reason you can't be ranking up every single month. All right. I love you guys. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions, and we'll talk to you guys later.